Hi, everybody. Welcome to My Third Life. This is vlog number 4. I want to talk about what is better. That really struck me last night. I went out with my wife to hear a couple of bands locally here in town, and I listened to maybe 12 different musicians. And as a professional, when I listen to bands, I listen very carefully to the different parts and how they fit in with each other. And my impression in hearing these guys is, and I hope I just doesn't sound bad. I wonder if they understand what better is and if they care. And this is something that we as musicians and retired people face. What is better? And do we care if we get there? And for me, I was playing in church today and I thought to myself, I sound better than I have before. And I go, why do I sound better? What makes it better? And for me today, I was pleased because one, I was putting more space in. I play in a church band where I call them 3-chord Jesus songs. So they play, once I know the 3 chords, I can play the song. So I played today with a singer who played guitar and a bass player, and I was pleased because one, I was waiting and then inserting at the right time rather than incessant playing the whole time from start to finish. So and that's taken a lot of work on my part because that's not something I normally do. That's something I struggle with. I play too much. Two, I played everything in time. So when I came in, I really gelled quickly with what was going on behind me. Didn't rush, didn't push. And then three, I was playing phrased lines. So I wasn't playing little bebop licks I'd heard or figured out in the practice room. I was actually trying to respond in a vocal fashion to the music I was involved in. And these are all elements I think that are important for me as far as my next steps. Now, your next steps might be different. But my impressions from the bands I heard last night were one, oftentimes people sing and play flat, and that can be because they're playing too loud. It can be that because they don't have a monitor and they can't hear themselves in the mix. And that was probably the biggest problem with the second band I heard. Everybody was singing flat. So I'm thinking maybe they don't know, maybe they don't care, maybe they can't hear themselves. But it really doesn't matter. What does matter is as a listener, I hear that. As a listener, there's two things I pick up really quickly, at least I do. One is, can I tap my foot? Is the time solid? If I can't, and if it's dance music, that makes it tough. Two, is what they're playing done with pleasing tone and in tune, and that's a big deal for me. I play a lot with a tuner. I'm working on my own singing, and I sing flat. I mean, I am so hypersensitive to how bad that sounds because I've taped myself numerous times. Anyway, so where this is all evolving to, the question I'm asking is, and I ask yourself this, what is better for you? And a lot of people just don't care. They're playing for fun. They're having fun with their buddies in the band. It always sounds this way, so who cares? Then there's other people that study the instrument or maybe tape themselves and hear what they really sound like, and they become aware that there's areas that they'd like to improve. And I know when I tape myself, I go, oh my God, that was flat, and I rushed here, and I'm playing too much. So that's a very valuable tool. But I think it's an important thing to ask yourself, what is better? And I'm happy that I took the time today to think about that. What is better? What am I working on? And I realized that the things I've been working on are starting to come out in my playing. And so, as this refers to people last night, uh, if you can't hear yourself in the band mix, I guess better doesn't really matter. So that's the first thing. Because I thought to myself last night, and I've never really thought this before, I couldn't play with these people. I used to play with anybody. I used to go, yeah, here's my sax. I'll sit in with you. I'll play with you. I'll do with you. And now I couldn't stand that if I had to sit there the whole night through. The time was all over the place. Nobody was listening. It was loud. People singing flat. People never stopping playing. I don't want to deal with that. And for better or for worse, that's how I feel. So I sat there thinking, wow, I really couldn't play in a band like this anymore. Even if they said, here's $80 for a gig, I don't want to deal with it. I want to be with people, and it makes me really, so the full circle is I really appreciate the people I play with now. I've been in the same band, the Jamie Jameson band, for 20 years, and the lead singer is really good. She's very good. I had a chance to see her from off stage. I broke my hand for a few weeks. I'm out in the audience, and I go, "Oh my God, this woman puts on such a great show," and I didn't know it because I was standing next to her on stage. Second, we have a guitar player who is really tasty, has his own style, and doesn't overplay. And boy, those are three things that are rare in my experience in the music world. So he's wonderful. The bass player we have has played with us before and is back now. He gels good with the drummer. He listens. He's part of the band thing going on. And then the drummer is incredible. This guy played with Etta James. He sat in with many big names around. We're lucky to have him. So he's been in our band for a little while. And then it's my job as the sax player to fit in with this whole thing. So I don't overplay. I don't play over the singer. I lock in lines with the guitar player, and I listen very carefully to what the drummer and the bass player set up when I'm playing. So I'm fitting in with it, not playing against it, if that makes sense. So that's better for me, and I'm very happy I've been in the band I've been in. Everything ends, I guess, and if and when this band ends, I don't know what I would go to. I always assume, well, I just find a better band. Well, that may be hard to do. It really may be hard to do. So I really enjoy, from my perspective, I've enjoyed performing in the convalescent hospitals, and I've enjoyed teaching almost more than the playing out in public because I have complete control over the convalescent jobs and the teaching. And when you're in public, you got a sound man, you got a stage, you got different people, you got all kinds of stuff going on. So I'm very happy with what's going on currently. But I ask myself, what is better? And I do that. When I'm practicing, say, a scale, am I happy with the tone? What is better? And luckily, I have teachers. So I have a teacher that'll say, "Do you realize you end all your solos on a high note? You're always doing the same thing." "Oh, I didn't know that." "Okay, great, thank you." Or I have a flute teacher with an incredible tone. And I listen to her, and my first thought is, I want to sound like that. I really want to sound like that. Or I've got a vocal teacher that says, "No, you're singing that flat. So do this 50 times. Ferry cross the Mersey." And I'd have to play piano to see if I was in tune. But his point was, and I've heard this from so many teachers, take what's the hardest thing and just hammer it 50 times till it's no longer a problem. So him telling me to do that vocally transferred to my sax practice and my flute practice and my piano practice. I don't jump over problems the way I used to. Better for me, okay, so here's the key. Better for me is solving a finite small issue in my playing today, not 10 years from now, not maybe someday, not I'll never get it. Today, can I play this little piece cleaner? Can I play it in better time? Can I play it with better musicality? Can I understand a new concept better than I ever have? So it's really gratifying to practice this way because I come away going, hey, I know exactly what my hour of practice did or my hour and a half of practice did. And that's such a key thing. I have students that come in and they say they practiced an hour, but then I improve him in 5 minutes in the lesson. So I'm saying, okay, he's not practicing the way I'm modeling in the lesson, and that's important. Anyway, I've covered much, much more than I wanted to. The big question is what is better and does it matter? And for some people, it doesn't matter if they play out of tune. It doesn't matter if the time's bad. It doesn't matter if you can't hear my vocal or my sax because the band's too loud. But if it does matter, there might be next steps to walking toward what you ultimately want. And I have a tone idol I've used for years. I've used Sanborn. You can see the picture I tried to do of him over my head. I if I get stuck, I go back and listen to something he's done. I go, "Yep, that's what I want to do," and that's been my guiding light over the last few years. So I hope this was helpful. This is vlog number 4 on my retirement, but I think that's key. And I think what is better applies to everything. What is a better relationship? What is a better hour in the gym? What is a better time out with my kids? I think that's a good thing to keep in mind. Here comes Better. Hi, Tony. This is my little grandson. Ooh, we're on a vlog. Say hi. Say hi, everybody. All right, bye-bye, guys. See you later. Tony, you're going to be on a vlog.
But,
10,
but